This is Access Houston on 97.9 The Box.
Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smooth. Welcoming in the studio, she is the host of the Keisha Nicole Show, Middays, right here on The Box. She's joining me, the lovely Keisha Nicole. Hey, girlie.
I love when I can wake up early and join you on the show, KG.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, you keep saying that. We're going to make this a regular thing.
We definitely going to make it a regular thing. I'm ready.
We're going to make it a regular thing.
I am so ready.
And he is the founder of Live on Purpose, motivational speaker, just all-around amazing guy, Mr. Robert Harper II is back on the program. My guy, how's it going?
Sir, man. It's doing good, man. How you doing?
We are wonderful. So you have an incredible event that is coming up.
Yes, sir.
The Live on Purpose conference, and you reached out to me, asked me if I would speak. I was like, wow. And then you also was like, hey, do you think that Keisha Nicole would be willing to? I was like, absolutely. And so first, tell us about Live on Purpose, what it is for those who may not be familiar, and talk about the conference and what's going to go down.
All right, so Live on Purpose is an event, man, we're trying to do for the community, Houston, man, trying to get people to just live intentional lives, man. So every year, or actually twice out the year, we do it at the Sheraton North Houston. We bring in different speakers. We try to encourage people to come out, to have a good time. We have different speakers every year. So, yeah, man, this year is going to be phenomenal. I know I've seen what you guys do up here, and I'm thinking to myself, you guys are living on purpose every single day. Every time you hear the radio, it's a certain level of excellence that you guys come with every single time. So I want you guys to tell the people how y'all do what y'all do every single day. So, yeah.
That was it. Wow. Keisha, when he hit us up, when he hit me up and asked, I was just like, wow. And I was like, and this will be perfect because we have a great rapport.
But we have a great story of our journeys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Both of us have two separate journeys, but there's so much alike in how we try to get to a certain level in our life, and then the struggles that we had to go through to get to that level. You know what I mean?
Yes. And I'm sure for you, especially being a woman in this predominantly male industry.
You know, it's not as hard as everybody think it is being a woman when it comes to men. It's harder being a woman
when it comes to other
when
women.
it comes to other women in this industry. So people always ask me that question, is it hard like being a male-dominant industry? It's not hard when it comes to the men, but it's hard with the women. And which I absolutely hate, because we live in a time where girl power is a cool thing to say, and people aren't really living or, breathing girl power. But it's like the cool thing. Women's empowerment is like the cool thing right now, But I think that we need to really practice that a lot more than just typing it on Instagram.
Sure.
So when you think about, and this is for both of you all, when you think about living on purpose, when you think of that phrase, live on purpose, especially for you, Robert, since you came up with it, what comes to mind?
Being intentional, man. Like being intentional with every aspect of your life, like with your relationships, with your business, with your goals, with your job, just being very intentional. And I think, like, for most people, like, we just, we kind of go through life not really being intentional. Like, okay, I'm gonna keep it with whoever, or this person may not be able to take me where I'm trying to go. That you may be on two different playing fields. So if you're intentional about where you're trying to go, what you're trying to do, I think that'll just give you more purpose, more guidance. Understand you got an assignment. You got to get somewhere to go, man. So for me, that's what it's all about, being intentional. Yeah.
Keisha.
And he said something about being on assignment. Like, when you're on assignment, you're going to be held accountable. Like, for certain people that if God gives me this platform and I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing with this platform, I'm not living on purpose, I'm going to be held accountable at the end of the day for what I, push over this microphone. I mean, and it's a cool thing also to be lit, and it's a cool thing to be, you know what I'm saying, living this life of partying and drinking and stuff like that. And I'm not saying it's bad, because I do my share of partying or whatever, but I also understand that, with this platform, I am going to shout out small businesses every single day. With this platform, I am going to give some type of inspiration. With this platform, I am going to tell you guys about my journey, and I am going to say, hey, I had to go out on surgery, but I'm back and I'm stronger than ever, because I know it's going to help you as well. So I'm going to be held accountable for what I do as well. That's living on purpose to me.
No doubt. You're listening to Access Houston, talking to Robert Harper II and our very own Keisha Nicole. Robert's Live on Purpose conference happening on
November 10th.
That's
November
right.
10th, 2019, the Sheraton North Houston. Hotel.
So we need you to get your tickets. Come see Robert. Come see Keisha and myself. Keisha, I have no idea what we're going to do.
I don't either.
I just think that we should just go.
Tell y'all story. Y'all just gonna tell y'all story. Like that's what I envision, because I already know, like, if a person is at this particular place in their life, their success, right? Like, you got a story. Like, you have some ups, some downs, some obstacles, and so I just want people to hear that, because all they ever hear is KG doing his thing, Keisha, you doing your thing, and it's like, man, sometimes you can kind of feel so distant and so removed from that. So you know, if you kind of tell your story, let people know your journey, it's like that alone will encourage some people and give people some opportunity to kind of ask their questions too. That's what I envision, and I know you guys' rapport is excellent. So yeah, it's gonna be dope.
I want to ask KG though, in terms of living on purpose, because I feel like you have to go through certain things to understand what your purpose is. Obviously, what was one of the toughest moments in your career, your life, or what did you struggle with the most?
I struggled with the most not thinking that I was good enough or talented enough.
You are,
like, just in my own head. But then once I kind of psychoanalyzed myself and realized where that came from, because everything has a point of origin.
Yes.
I was like, dang, I think I have this feeling, even though, you know, I know sometimes I do incredible things, but still don't feel all the way 100% like how other people may feel about the work that I do, or, you know, the person that I am. It stems back to my father's side of the family not accepting me, or him not, you know, saying that I was his son at first, and then just that whole side just not being welcoming. And so I think that being in my subconscious, unbeknownst to myself, it affected my confidence level in, you know, in what I do in my career professionally and personally in relationships and things of that nature.
That's so real. I just did I just was interviewed by a magazine or a blog, and they were asking me about like self-love, and I have to go back and really think about the things that happened to me as a child, and how I had to reprogram myself as an adult, because what I was taught when I was younger, and sometimes not even what you were taught, what you saw, your environment, what you saw on TV, or what you didn't see on TV, it kind of makes you not like yourself. You know what I mean? And so I know I dealt with that a lot growing up, all the way through my 20s. It wasn't until I got about like 30 years old till I realized I was like, oh, wait a minute, this is like, and I had to really reprogram myself. You know what I mean? So I think that a lot of times, and you were talking about, you know, it stemmed from your father's side of the family. Even me not having a father, I know I deal with that in relationships. You know what I mean? Putting up with certain things. For a long time, I didn't know how I was supposed to be treated, because I never had that example.
Right.
So I feel like a lot of times people have to reprogram themselves, and also I'm grateful for all of that, right? Because it just taught me a lot about myself, but it's also helping me talk to other young girls who are on the same journey or who feel the same way. And if I hadn't gone through it, and who better than to talk to them but somebody with a platform, because they're going to actually listen to that person. So I'm grateful for it, you know?
Yeah, you never know what a person is going through. And then when you speak on your own, you know, personal experiences and you connect, and then people are just like, oh my gosh, like, oh, you're just like me in a sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It gives people hope, man. It gives people hope, especially if they're in the dark space right now. You know, seeing you like, man, KJ, he just like me.
Yeah.
We came from the same background, you know. I had that same experience. Keisha, she same like me. So it gives people hope, man. For me, I tell people, man, it's about honor and it's about hope. You know, it's about honoring those who came before me, about giving hope to those coming after me. So it's just like, okay, if I can tell my story and honor those who came before me, and give hope to those who coming after me, then that's what it's about, man. It's you got to be able to live on purpose in that way. If it's just you thinking about yourself and about what you can get and about how you can accomplish something, most likely you're not going to get it.
You're not
And you're going to feel empty. Like, I don't know how people get up every single day and just only go to work and that's it, and not know why they're here. Or why they should be helping others. Like, I know when I'm not helping other people, I feel so empty. Like, y'all have no idea. Like, if I'm not like actively working with kids or actively doing something, I feel like, okay,
and let me tell y'all something.
Not contributing.
She is the most giving person. She is one of the most giving comies that I've ever had.
Come on.
No, for real. Like, there's time where I have to force me to pay for the meal because she's always taking care of. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But it's a blessing in that, though. She probably already recognized it. Like, whenever you sow a seed, like, you going to get that back.
I'm going to get that back. And I don't do it because of that, but I just do it because, like, I know, and I'm not saying my friend doesn't have it, but I know what it's like not to have at all. And I know what it's like to, I don't know. I just came from nothing. Like, I just came from a place where even growing up, we didn't have a lot of money. You know, me and my family, we all lived together, my cousins and stuff. But even as, you know, when I went on to my journey by myself at 25, like, just being dead broke, car being repoed, this and that. Like, I'm just so grateful that I'm able to, I want to help you. I want to pay. Not even help. I just want to pay for people because I just feel good because I know people help me too. Like, if they didn't help me, I would have been like, you know, I wouldn't have made it. So I just like giving to other people. Like, it just makes me feel good. I don't know.
You're listening to Access Houston. We got Keisha, Nicole, Robert Harper II. Rob, what was the inspiration behind you wanting to do a whole conference about living on purpose?
The inspiration came from just understanding my position, man. It's kind of like, you know, when you're growing up and the teacher say, hey, man, no question is a dumb question. Because
right.
Usually if you have a question, somebody else has a question too, right? So, like, if I felt like I was struggling with purpose and trying to figure out where I'm trying to go in life, like, I knew other people was, you know, doing the same thing. So I just wanted to create a platform where it wasn't just about me, but it's about other people, hearing other stories, putting people in position to where those stories could be accessed, right? So that's the main reason, Doc, just because I knew that I was struggling with that. And so I figured that other people might be struggling the same way. So.
And what has been some of the success stories? Because you speak, I mean, every time I'm popping up, you are somewhere giving people the business, you know. Can you share any success stories or someone that has come up to you after you've spoken somewhere and like, yo, this really resonated with me, or because of you, I have now done this?
Right. Man, one pops up in my head. I did a Black Male Summit about a couple years ago at North Harris College, man, and it was called Game Changer, right? So there was this lady. She was there. She was a little bit older. She came back to school. She was kind of really nervous about going back to school. Felt like she wasn't really, you know, she was kind of intimidated because you know, I'm older, everything like that. But she wasn't even supposed to be at the conference. It's a Black Male Summit.
Right.
She's only volunteering, and she can hear from the outside. So from the outside, after the conference is over, she comes up to me and she said, "Hey, you don't know how much your speech resonated with me." And all I can say is thank you, right? So maybe like a couple years later, she hits me up and she says, "Hey, just want to let you know I just finished up at North Harris." All right?
Wow.
So then after that, a couple years later after that, she sees me again. She says, "Hey, Game Changer, I just finished up my BA at University of Houston downtown." Like
wow.
I'm literally seeing her years later,
right?
You know, and I'm like, man. So like, and every time she sees me, she even called me by my name. She said Game Changer because that was the name of the event, right? So like for her, she was like, that was a game changer type of experience. So to see that, to know you're making an impact, know you're making a difference, that's what it's all about, man.
Yeah. Keisha, you got any questions for Robert?
I just want to know if we're sitting on the panel right now, what's one question that you would ask us?
Oh man.
If you were in the audience.
So I would ask you okay, talk about just appreciating the journey. Like what are things in your process of being where you are right now? What are some things that stick out to you to make you appreciate the journey? It makes it sweeter even right now, that people can't really see. You know, people can see you right now doing your thing, but what they don't see is what makes you who you are. And so I would ask you, like, what's that one thing that you always go back to, like, okay, yeah, I can appreciate this journey because of that?
I think for me, I feel like the underdog for so long because all of my peers who started before me, they got there quicker, and they were. And a lot of artists, like a lot of the artists that's on the radio right now, I started with them. We all started in LA together. And so I always felt like, dang, like they making it, like I'm the underdog. But when I started to understand my journey and my purpose and what God put me here for, it was necessary that I had to go through everything that I needed to go through in order to be the person I am now, in order to do his job and his will for me. So I no longer, refer to myself as, I was the underdog. It was necessary. Mm-hmm. So I would definitely say that.
Yeah. I think for me, probably you have to take a stand when you're in this game.
That's good.
You have to take a stand. Either you're going to be for the people or you're going to be for the other BS. And being for the people is the side that I chose. And it can be tough because when you have corporations or, just people with big names and how they can easily stunt your growth, stop your bag, do all kind of things if you don't do what it is that they want you to do. And I'm just not that type of man. I just can't live like that. I'm for the people. I could easily be right now in my life where, one like a Charlemagne the God or where Big Tigger is like right now. I could be there, but I wasn't sleeping with some old white man because you find me, because I want to be your sexual fetish.
Yeah.
No, I want this gig because I have the work ethic. I have the talent and the chops to get it done, not because, you see me as, a piece of sex meat. And not to say that those people did that to get to where they are. Let me clear that up. Like that's not what I'm saying, but that what has been, presented to me more times than I would like to admit, and I'm just like, nah.
But I think that's powerful. Like going into it, like you have to have a certain level of standard values and principles that you live by, right? And that has to be kind of like, okay, this is who I am.
Because all money ain't good money. Yeah. Because
kids, when the situation comes about, when you got the money in front of you, if you hadn't made that decision yet, it's hard to make that decision right then and there if you haven't already made the decision. If you already hadn't been like, hey, this is who I am, this is my standard, this is my values. If you haven't made that beforehand, then now walking into it and you trying to make it when the money's on the table, sometimes you choose the other thing. So that's powerful, So just making sure that on this road to success, you don't lose yourself. You can always look in the mirror and be
that's it. On this road to success, make sure you don't lose yourself.
It's so easy to lose yourself. It's so easy to get caught up in, because I feel like what I do is not popular. The inspirational stuff, it's not the most popular thing. It's more popular for somebody to be super lit in the club, everybody at the strip club. It's so popular. Like, I could be that girl if I wanted to be that girl, but that's not what I'm here for. But what I do is not the most popular thing. You know what I mean? It's not.
We were just having this conversation.
It's not celebrated as much, which is fine because I'm going to win in the end and I'm going to have the longevity in the end because that only lasts for so long. And I've seen it happen over and over again. So what you do may not be popular right now or may not be celebrated right now, but trust me, it builds that foundation. When you have that foundation built, nobody can mess with it. Nobody can tip your building over. Nobody could come in and try to finesse you. When you have that foundation, nobody can mess with it. So
listen, this is a taste of what you're going to get on November 10th at the Live on Purpose conference. Robert, tell them where they need to go so they can, sign up, register, get your tickets because it's going to be a lituation.
All right, go to Eventbrite. You go to Live on Purpose once you get there, and that's where the tickets are, man. It's November 10th at the Sheraton North Houston Hotel. I'm telling you, you do not want to miss this particular event. I also got my girl Raven Turner. She's gonna be in the building. She's from PV. She's an author. She's a speaker. She's phenomenal as well. So I want to shout out her and just let her know that what she's doing is not being in vain, man. She's doing some good stuff. But y'all don't want to miss this. Y'all don't want to miss this. KG, Keisha, Nicole.
Yeah. It's gonna be dope. And I want to thank you for coming on again. And Keisha, thank you for wanting to be on. I really like what we have here. This is the second show. I think I might have to, switch. Yeah, maybe switch up my format style here and throw on a cohort with me because this is I like what you was dropping as well.
I'm down. Just say the word.
Oh. It's going to be the new Access Houston coming on. But listen. Shout out your IG, Robert.
Oh, Robert Harper II. That's the IG. Facebook, Robert Harper. And Twitter is Robert Harper 2.
So we will see y'all on November the 10th, bro. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for inviting Keisha and I. And we cannot wait. And Keisha, thank you for doing this with me.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Thank you.
And thank you for listening to Access Houston.
We'll be back with more Access Houston on 97.9 The Box.